Hello everybody for this solo playthrough of Advanced Squad Leader. This is the first video I'm doing in English. I made a series in French and some people asked me to try to make some in English. With the slight problem is that even though I started my life speaking English, I stopped at the age of 4, so I switched to French. So as you hear me, you see that I have a slight accent, perhaps not as slight as I would like it to be. Um, but I hope it will serve the community of players, especially in particular, perhaps beginner players. That's why also today I suggest that we play together an infantry only unit scenario. There I am with my vocabulary, etc. So the principle of those scenarios is first to have fun. I hope I'm not too bad a player, so I will make, of course, errors. Who never makes any, but I hope the flow of the game will be pleasing enough and not too misleading. So I guarantee rule and tactical errors, of course, because you always have different ways to manage a situation, and of course, some players are much more clever than I for those questions of tactical developments. I play solo. That means I use the as if system. That means I play as if I didn't know, and I switch sides, and I play with a double personality. I choose scenarios where data are not too hidden to the enemy. You know, if you have 10 hidden pillboxes and things like that, I don't play them solo. And here I chose an infantry only scenario, taking from the excellent Journal 13, and I recommend it because it came out quite recently, and of course Journal 14 is also wonderful. So we have a situation which is mainly infantry. There are 2 guns in the mix, but that's all. So here we are. This scenario happens during the uprising of Slovaks against the Germans in 44, September 44. So I read and it's Peter Schelling, who is an excellent designer who designed that scenario. Very varied and very clever designer. I like him a lot. So we are on 20 September 1944 at Bieli Potok in Slovakia. On 5th September, as the Slovak uprising against the Nazi occupation was gaining momentum, Jan Golyan, a hardened veteran of the French Foreign Legion and thus an exception to the mediocrity of the Slovak officer corps, became the commander of all the rebel forces in Slovakia and was given the rank of general. Golyan estimated that insurgency could last a mere 2 weeks without significant assistance from the west of Stavka. The Slovak defensive stand at Strechno Gorge had a bracing effect on his troops' morale despite a failed counterattack by the 6th Infantry Regiment. Golyan consolidated their remaining strength on the high ground around the important rail center of Bieli Potok. Aftermath, while the Slovaks succeeded in bringing up artillery into position to fire on the rail lines running through the valley, the only fresh German unit in position was a motley Kampfgruppe led by SS Sturmbannführer Ernst Stafer. Kampfgruppe Schafer, with approximately 2,400 men from the local Volksdeutsch and cadets from the nearby SS Panzergrenadier School in Kienschlag, but no armor and very little artillery support, was given the mission of seizing this high ground and eliminating the Slovak threat. Over the next 7 weeks, Kampfgruppe Schafer made 14 attempts to silence the guns above Bieli Potok without success. Though Kampfgruppe Schafer ran out of momentum and then ammunition by mid-October, political infighting and lack of Allied help sealed the fate of the Slovak uprising. So we have here a Slovak victory normally, at least tactically, but strategically, Slovak lost the conflict. So let's look at the conditions of the scenario. you have that double wide 5A map, which is excellent. We're not looking at balance at all. Victory conditions, so the Germans win immediately, so at any time of the game, if both guns are eliminated, captured, or at game end, if neither is possessed by good order Slovak units. Slovak set up first, German move first, 5.5 turns. Yes, you have time, but not plenty of it. So in defense, the Slovaks set up north of Hex Row D with first liners, 3 leaders for 10 squads is a good ratio. A machine gun, heavy machine gun, light machine gun, some um, concealed dummy concealment counters, and 3 trenches. Okay, and 2 guns, which are in a more or less restricted area, and they mustn't be more than 6 hexes apart one from another, so that the German can concentrate his movement. No, let's say yes, of course. There we are, and the Germans are 16 squads, half first liners, half second liners, with 4 leaders, not very good ones, only one 8-1 to lead the attack, and dismantle medium machine gun and 3 light machine guns. So they are better than the Slovaks in firepower. They are less good in, let's say, leadership ratio, but yeah, they should be able to do something. So the nearly no special rules. Environmental conditions are moderate, with no wind at start. Bore sighting is not allowed, so that's good. The Slovaks won't have to do that. Usually, when the the attacker comes from offboard, you can bore sight the heavy machine guns and the guns. And the artillery guns may not use hidden initial placement, but they'll be concealed, of course, and they may still be set up and placed. So here is the situation with the setup. Uh, just so you know it, I had first recorded a video, but my voice didn't come out, and I did all the setting up. Here we have the situation after setup, and I think it can be a good thing just to explain some things. So as you can see, all the fortifications, so the foxhole, all infantry, Slovak infantry which is in proper terrain, can set up entrenched in foxholes, besides the 3 trenches given here. So you have a trench here, one here, one here. The good thing with trenches is that you can slip out of it to a lower terrain uh, under the condition you possess the trench, and up again without getting out of the trench. So it's an excellent, let's say, skulking situation. You'll be perhaps astonished to see 4 places where there are possible guns. That is why, because I converted 4 of the dummy counters to a 5/8 inch, so that German is not sure where the guns are. He can be sure at least one of those is a real one because of the 6 or less hexes distance of placement of the gun. So this gun, if it's a real one, this one is a real one, okay, etc. There we are. In fact, the guns are in the center. Okay. But the German cannot bet on this on that, and will have slightly to disperse his advance. So what is significant here, I put the machine gunners. They're all concealed because even as the enemy, as the Germans come from off map, they can all be concealed. So here I have a house squad. So you know I split a squad in 2 whole squads, giving the medium machine gun to half squad and a squad just to help to a gun. This is a fake gun, but you have here still some people to guard the place, because if the Germans come, it's good to resist them a little. On this side, you have a dummy, and I put foxhole over dummies also. I decided that they are considered units, and nothing is said about the dummies not being able to be in foxholes. So the rule is that as soon as the fortifications are visible, they become visible, so they lose hidden. Here I placed the second house squad just to cover that that sunken road note here that the gun has LOS in it because it goes down one level each hex. It would be tempting to put it there or somewhere perhaps else, but that's the best place to have a direct sight into the sunken road, and the gun can cover this place. Yeah. Here you have all real people, but about the only ones actually. The German doesn't know. So how's the German going to lead his attack? He needs a force here. I took 467s because they have a good range. So if they are, let's say, at the wrong place, at least with their 6 range, they could start firing, at this distance quite easily. About the same thing on this side. They have a machine gun. They'll move here, and of course everybody's going to move in the village. The orchards create blind stones. We are in season, so the advance, if it's wise, won't be too heavily hit by the defending Slovaks. One thing also the Slovaks must be wary of is that if the guns are destroyed, they give the points to the Germans. They give the victory to the Germans. And as those guns, as you can see here, let's see if they have special things, but I think they have a lot. Yeah, just they can fire smoke. They have B11, so breakdown 11. I won't use the Slovaks won't use intensive fire a lot because it could be really dangerous just to break their own guns, and afterwards when the gun is dysfunctioned, you hesitate to repair them because if you roll a 6 it eliminates it, and that gives one of the victory conditions to the German. So I hope you are having a nice time seeing this situation. The setup is ready. So next episode we will go um, for the scenario itself and see how it develops. Perhaps I didn't say, but I deployed 2 second liners for the Germans so that they can do some scouting with the half squads. So here you have one half squad. Here it's slightly different. I think I gave them the machine gun, but you also have a half squad I think here, and there must be someone. The 4th one must be hiding somewhere. There we are. So they can go and try to probe this and this, taking the risks. That's one of the ways you use when you're playing ASO, just to discover who is in the what is in the concealed stacks. So there we are. So see you at the next episode, and let's see how things develop. Bye bye.